Ça va? And how are we today? It's Friday, January the 10th. I think I better just double check on that. Yes, it's January the 10th, 2025. I get a little disoriented with time. Time is moving, very quickly. And sometimes, unless I'm looking right at that calendar, I kind of, can't differentiate one day from the other. There's so much ice at the lake, Lake Huron here, where I live at the moment. And it's quite beautiful, actually. It doesn't feel very nice, but it's really pretty to look at. I haven't been on for a few days. I've had some 3D activities that needed to be taken care of, but I am back today. I was hearing on the 8th of January, and I know because I wrote it down. Galaxy codes came in. Not quite sure what that means. Maybe we'll get a little message today about that. So we'll set the intention there to learn about these new codes. I've been feeling every day I feel better than the day before. So starting around January the 1st, as you know, when I came on and I did the New Year's message, it seemed to be a turning point. I know back in the fall we were all going through a lot of emotional dumping. Has to be done. The clearing, the healing has to be done before we can move forward and create something beautiful now in our lives. Again, we focused a lot on manipulation, lies, deception, people who are appearing to be something that they're not. They like to present themselves in a way that they feel is better than who or what they actually are. In other words, ego. There's been a lot of ego stuff to clean up. All of this comes down to, as you know, we've talked about this for so long now, right? Is feeling less than, is the unworthiness program on your planet. We don't have to fall for that program anymore. It's been eradicated. All those low frequencies, those low level light, it's like apertures is how I'm hearing it, or configurations. There's no space here for that. It's not being held here anymore, in other words. So we're not holding space for that anymore. If you are still feeling less than, you're not good enough, you don't deserve something, you are perpetuating playing the poor little victim or the martyr or playing the shame blame game or whatever it is, if you're still that low, there's nothing holding that frequency on your world or your planet anymore, so you can actually let it go. If it's still running those patterns within you, it's because you are holding space for that. There's no other program in your realm or on your planet in your world that is holding that energy anymore. It's done. It's a done deal. So these sunlight, the spirit light beings, my team from the Central Sun, whom I am working with and always have, they really want to get this message across to you, to give yourself a break and just stop playing that martyrdom game, that, everybody's better than me game, all right? And then the opposite of that, of course, is that I'm better than everybody else. So neither one is correct. We are all equal. We are all beings of high light, running our spirit, our spiritual essence of light within this avatar, within this physical body. And some, I know, like their physical bodies more than others. But again, we can change that. We can shift that. It isn't as hard as what you think. When I have spoken with clients from the past, they have, maybe they were not liking something about their physicalness, And as we've always given the same advice about that, buy yourself a what I call a body book. I mean, I've taken biology and physiology like I think 3 times now with all the different courses I've taken throughout the years. And I have this one beautiful, it's huge. I'll have to show it to you. In fact, I think I did a long time ago. Um, and every single page is this full color page of every part of the body. And basically, if you want a healthy body, you can sit down, look at the pictures of what a healthy body looks like, and visualize that being over you. So if your lungs are all black and you've been smoking since you were a kid or whatever, and your lungs are as black as my shirt here today, you stop smoking. It's supposed to be pink. Okay, your lungs are pink like my rose quartz. I can't do it. That rose quartz. Look to the right of my Tibetan bowl, and that is the tallest generator there is a rose quartz. So that's actually the color our lungs are supposed to look like. So you can start, we got to stop the smoking, okay? You have to stop your bad habits, whatever it is. If you eat too much, drink too much, smoke too much, whatever too much, you have to stop that, of course. But in the meantime, while your body is healing, you're allowing it some space to heal, you can visualize what your body actually should, I don't like using that word, but this time I'll use it, should look like. A healthy version of you. And if you can visualize that on your body while you're doing your healing on yourself, then that speeds up the process. You can actually pick a body part if somebody says, oh, well, this doesn't look right, or this part of my body I don't like. Then you find a picture of what you actually like. Oh, I like their teeth, or I like their abs, or I like their hair, or whatever it is. I like their eyes. And you can, well, okay, I want mine to change in this way or that way. And you can actually visualize, and there will be a certain amount of change that can be facilitated by you focusing on. I use the rule of thumb 21 days because that's what the experts tell us. It takes 3 weeks to create a new habit. You want to break an old habit, start a new habit. That's how long it takes. So I've actually followed some of these things myself and changed my physical body to a point where I actually like it. I don't know why that came out. That came out. Maybe some of you are, thinking about that. Anyway, getting back to our galaxy codes of light. There are cosmic codes, which we've already heard about are being generated here. But there are some, apparently, is what I'm hearing. Here's our message about the galaxy codes. There are some galaxy codes in some of us that have been missing for some time now. So now we're being able to reproduce or generate these new galactic there's an interconnectivity code going on that will unite us in a more spiritual manner. There we go, there's our answer. And these galactic codes stem from the inner reaches of time within us. So there's a memory code in there, there are genetic codes in here is what I mean, the body, avatar body. There are more frequency alignments that are coming on from not only the sun, which we already know about, but I'm hearing that the moon as well. I don't know. Go figure. I'm just hearing this with you as well. So the moon codes are actually coming online to stimulate some of your more emotionally based reservoirs of thought. That's how I'm hearing it. So we're going to be taught a different way of functioning from our emotional sphere of energy to be more clear. So it has to do with sensation or sensitivity or our senses. So we're gaining more ground in our senses. there's more movement to be had with this topic. It's like we're in this, I'm hearing it like an abundance of a season of change. So we're all about change right now. We're all about creating this symphony or this orchestra of a new alignment in our higher light. There are many more things that will bring us delight. Okay, so this is all new information for me. So when I'm first getting the downloads, I struggle, as you know, with getting the language correct, because the thoughts and the feelings, the pictures, everything comes in, and then I have to translate that from code into a language that you and I both can understand. So the sunlight codes are already here. Okay, the moonlight energy frequencies are centered around emotional spheres, and they're here to clear. So they're here to clear anxiety and fear. It's like out of the water. Oh, interesting. So we're going to be clearing the water droplets on your land. We're going to be giving them a command. They will return back to the sand, and then they will be filtered back, and will be there on demand, like at your command. So it's almost like a filtering process. I used to live in many different places in the country, and we had a well, and there was always some sort of filtering device. And I know sand has something to do with filtering the water. I'm not an engineer, okay? But this is what I'm seeing and hearing. This is what I'm getting. So the water droplets on the land have to be expanded. They have to be expanded on dry land. Oh, that's why we're going to get some more flooding then. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. So this is all about cleansing the land. So this is a spiritual cleanse, but of course it goes into the frequency of light. It lifts us up. It's like resuscitation of our spirit light. So it's all tied together because, of course, we are all together. Our spirit is in our avatar. So we've got spirit, light, and the physical properties combined, working together. It has to be that way on the land as well, and Mother Earth too, right? Because we're all the same. She's a spirit light within this internal frequency body of the planet that she occupies. So this is going from spirit light and making it white and turning it back to its highest light. So same thing that's going on within us, within every cell of our body, is going on within the practicality of Mother Earth, of the planet. So I'm hearing we're going to research this a lot more in the future. Okay. I just want to say something because we're talking about the sun energy as well as the moon energy. I've always heard it, that the sun is feminine and the moon is masculine. I know everybody, not everybody, I know there are some, I've heard some others say the same thing. I don't know, that's just what I hear here. So, I don't know if you're one of those who gets that information as well. It is what it is. I'm sure it'll all be figured out in 3D at some point. But I'm just letting you know the information that I hear, that I am privy to. So bottom line, we have all this sunlight energy being pounded onto our planet, onto our world here in Mother Nature land is how I'm hearing it. And then but I'm hearing that there's more sun at our command. Okay, again, we have more power than what we realize. We can create whatever it is we visualize and that we want from a higher viewpoint, not from a lower viewpoint anymore. So in other words, if you are the type of being who likes to be miserable, likes to be down and out, likes to bring out everybody down to your level to make you feel good about yourself, because you feel so low, then this doesn't work with you. Okay, it only works with the higher view. Right? So we have to come from a higher view to be able to create these higher momentums of higher life. I think that's just understood without me saying it, but there you go. I was given a little nudge to make that perfectly clear, that you cannot create higher light when you're in a lower atmosphere. All right, just frequency wise, it just doesn't work. So we're smoothing out our emotional base. We're clearing out that old, that nasty, negative, old, malfunctioning emotional trace, as I hear it. So in other words, tracing it back to the past. All of this stuff, we don't like it, we don't want it really, but you get stuck in this pattern, right? So now we know, we've discussed about breaking patterns. Try the 21-day thing. Let's see if it works for you. It's whatever works. Maybe you can make it faster, maybe it'll be longer, I don't know. I only know what's worked for me, but it's whatever you believe too. Like I believe I was doing this when I was much, much, much younger. And I just decided to try it one day. I think I was a preteen, and I was tired of the body that I was given at that age. So I decided to, change it. And change I did, and it's been with me. The changes that I like have been with me ever since, in regards to this body structure. So if I could do it as a child, you can certainly do it as an adult. Or maybe it's harder. Maybe we have more preconceived notions. But I had the simple belief that, if it takes 21 days to change something, then I would experiment with that. And that's what I did. And it worked. So blessings, everyone. Take care of yourselves and others. It's a fun journey if we just let it, right? Let the old emotional, unhealthy, unsatisfying ways of being disappear. We're not who we were even yesterday or a minute ago. We're new beings. We're a new creation every minute of the day and night. So allow your body to shift and change in a better way, so you like yourself better. Shift and change your thought structures, your belief systems, so you'll feel better and you're happier. As I say, this momentum that I'm feeling every single day I get up, it's amazing. It's lighter, it's happier, it's brighter. The past fall was so painful to move through. It was like moving through wet cement. It was so slow and so toxic to work on and remove those emotional old patterns. But as soon as I saw them, I'm going, why am I feeling so awful? Why am I so emotional about this or that or whatever it is or whatever it was for you? We're all going through this. Okay, the emotional bodies are getting cleaned up. Emotions equal water. Okay, so this all makes sense. Put it all together. The puzzle pieces are all coming together so we can see the big picture here. But once you clean out, we've got all these little caverns and these little hidden places where we store things away, like little, chipmunks or little squirrels. And it's time to pull all that apart and let it all go. And if certain people remind you of an old way of being, then let them go as well. You're on this journey as an individual, in your individual body, alone. Not from a spiritual point of view, we're never alone, all right? We know that. But from a physicality point of view, we're doing this on our own, aren't we? We get birthed on our own. We pass over on our own. as females, we give birth to our own babies on our own. There are certain things that physically in 3D we do on our own. And if certain people, it's just too painful, with too many painful memories and memory codes that get activated or triggered, if you have to, even for a time, separate from that. Get yourself back together. Get your head back on straight, as we used to say. Get your emotional base cleaned up. And then maybe at another point you can go back to these people or these relationships with a fresher, newer viewpoint, and the sting will be gone. Right? The emotional sting won't be there anymore. But then again, maybe it's your time to move on with new relationships. It's up to you. You're going to have to make those choices and decisions, because that's all there is choice, personal choice. But we do it for our highest and best spiritual purpose. It's our spiritual journey. It's nobody else's. This is where the individual comes in. Our spiritual growth is our own business, nobody else's. Right? That's why we have no judgment here. It's a no judgment zone now. If you find yourself constantly judging others, ask yourself, why? Why do I need to do this? Oops, is it maybe because I'm always thinking judgmental thoughts about myself? Everything comes from self, and you just project onto others. Unless you are mature, you have become a master of yourself and you know what you're doing. Immature beings who are not there yet, spiritually speaking, they don't understand what they're doing. They're not in charge of their vehicle or their car. They're not driving their car properly yet. It's like in 3D on your world. You don't allow your children to drive a car till they pass rigorous tests, and they are of a certain age. And younger than that, they might be able to pull it off, but then again, they might not. They might hurt a lot of people around them. And this is what happens when you're an immature soul. Your spirit light, you haven't grown enough yet. This planet, it's a school of hard knocks for most of you who don't know what you're doing here. By the time you leave, you will have learned a lot. You'll have a lot of experiences under your belt, so to speak. And you'll be well on your way to mastery. Others of us who've already mastered ourselves, and we've come back to help you out here, volunteer time here to help with the growth of the planet in your world. We already know, we get it, done, been there, done that, as a lot of you like to say, or used to say. So you're well on your way. All right, we've got these galactic codes coming in. We've got the sunlight codes. We've heard today we've got moonlight energy codes coming in, helping with the cleanup of the waters and the emotions and all that stuff, from spiritual to physical and back again. We've got the cosmic codes that came in, I heard, around the beginning of 2025, which is, it's just all made up stuff, people. It's all made up, right? But we're just playing along with it anyway. Because in this simulation, we have a lot of growth. There's a lot of growth factor here, growth hormone factor here. I'm not hearing anything more. I feel like this has gone on a long time, so I'm going to stop this now. Anyway, again, blessings, everyone. Take care of yourselves and others. If you wish to book an appointment with us, you can go to the website www.healingourenergy.ca and book your appointment today. All right, we'll see you again. Bye for now.